everyone and welcome back to Java Crack of the Week, a series where we break down Java Juicy's vulnerabilities. If Log4Shell was a bomb and Spring4Shell was a backdoor, then this one? It's a trapdoor hidden in framework most of folks even don't realize they left open. Today we're diving in RCE that hits Spring Cloud Function. This one is like giving a random HTTP header a root access. Yes, really. Let's explore it. Spring Cloud Function is like Swiss Army knife for deploying Java functions. It lets you run business logic as beans: function, consumer, supplier, and then wire them into different execution environments. AWS Lambda? Checked. Azure Functions? Yup. Local HTTP server running Spring Boot? Absolutely. It's like function as a service, but with bean. The cool part? You can route requests to different functions dynamically, using headers or config. And that brings us to Spring Cloud Function had a feature called routing expression. It lets you send a special HTTP header which tells Spring which function to route the request to. Seems flexible, right? Yeah, too flexible. Under the hood this value was parsed using SpEL, Spring Expression Language, and if you've ever played with SpEL, you know, it's basically eval with extra steps. The problem? There was zero sanitization. So instead of just calling a savebean function like my function, an attacker could send this. Boom, remote code execution. This value gets evaluated as code, not just matched to a method name, and SpEL is powerful, like run a shell and take over your server powerful. Worse still, this didn't require any auth, so if your app exposed a functionRouter endpoint and was on a vulnerable version, that's enough. It's like giving a root access to whoever can guess your port number. So how bad did it get? Well, within 48 hours of disclosure, researchers were observing internet-wide scanning, POC exploits hitting honeypots, and cryptominers deployed via HTTP headers. Yes, that also happened. The attacks didn't discriminate. Both server apps and serverless functions got hit. Oh, and the timing. This dropped right around Spring4Shell, so it got mixed into that storm. It was like Java exploit Christmas for attackers. Now let's jump into a quick demo and see just how easy this exploit really is. Let's start with a quick diagram how the attack actually plays out. So what's happening here? The attacker sends a post request to functionRouter, including this dangerous routing expression header. Spring Cloud Function evaluates header value using SpEL. That SpEL expression calls system exit, and the app actually runs it. The JVM shuts down and the app goes silent. The connection drops, no response, game over. And the best part? No auth, no special API, just one bad header. Here's the Java code behind our vulnerable app. Pretty basic, right? We have two functions, uppercase and lowercase. Both are exposed automatically by Spring Cloud Function. The app uses Spring Cloud Starter Function Web, so any request to functionRouter can be routed to one of these functions. Or if we send this routing expression header, we can override the routing logic entirely. And that's where the exploit sneaks in. And as in previous demos, everything is running inside Docker using Docker Compose. Before we launch attack, let's spin everything up. Okay, the app is running. Now let's talk about the actual attack. So we're going to send a post request to functionRouter, but instead of calling a real function like uppercase, we're going to pass a routing expression header and its value, a SpEL expression which tells JVM to shut itself down. Basically, we're asking to commit a JVM seppuku, and thanks to the vulnerability, it gladly obliges. So let's execute the request and see what will happen. Okay, the app will receive the request, evaluates the SpEL, and finally it will terminate the JVM process. And that's all. No authentication, no special permissions, just one HTTP header and the app's gone. You're vulnerable to this RCE if your app uses Spring Cloud Function below 3.1.7 or 3.2.3, includes Spring Cloud Starter Function Web Module, exposes functionRouter endpoint, and accepts routing expression header. If that's your setup, patch it fast. Let's wrap with some lessons. SpEL is powerful, maybe too powerful. Treat it like eval because it kind of is. Don't expose routing logic via headers, unless you really need to. Keep your dependencies updated. This vulnerability was patched fast, you just need to patch. Assume that attackers know every public vulnerability and will try them. This one went live to the wild before the official advisory was even out. That's it for Spring Cloud Function RCE. One header, vulnerable config, and full shutdown. If you found it useful, give it a like, drop a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.